Taking a little day trip today, leaving Corbin, headed towards Harlan, Pennington Gap. Not really sure where we will end up, but we're going to go try to find some colors in the trees. This area, they've already lost most of the leaves, as you can see there, so we're going to head south and see what we can find out. Just driving through Barberville on the way. Neat little town. It's right on the Cumberland River. It's your typical small town America. Good people, fun festivals, and falling down brick buildings. They've got floodgates around the town, which is interesting. You see flood walls in the mountains like this. But we'll come back when we get to the next something to look at. Just some more neat sights. This old cabin here along the side of the highway just before you get to Pineville. I'm gonna see if I can get closer. The weeds are tall, but it's just a cabin. They're trying to keep it, they put a new roof on it, so somebody's trying to keep it alive. I'm gonna walk around, see if I can see inside. There it is from the side. See, they've redone some of the chimney. Beautiful cabin. They put some new windows in it. And look at the craftsmanship. This was probably all done with a hatchet or an axe. Second story. Really don't want to go in. It's not my property. Let's see if the camera sees. Pretty neat. Just a beautiful old hand-cut log cabin. Alright, on to the next adventure. This is the mountainside just across the road from this place. Starting to see some color. There we are, pulling into Pineville. And I'm about to drive through the floodgates. I've got some news clippings from this when it flooded before there was floodgates. But the town is surrounded with floodgates and they have big pumps. Get a little more of that from a different view. There's a floodgate. You see the flood wall, and there's a gate that goes down across the river. Little town. There was a lot of flooding down there a couple years ago. Still climbing the hill. A little ways to go to the top yet. This is Chain Rock is at. I don't think we'll hike out to Chain Rock today. The wife is in a boot. But look at that view. This is in Pineville. I'm gonna walk up here and check out the storyboard, see if it has anything interesting. Oh, just talking about wildlife. And bear-proof trash cans. All right, let's keep climbing. Just a little farther up the road, another overlook and another storyboard. This time about the plants. All right. There's a storyboard. Yet to see a black bear up here, or anywhere in this state. Would love to. Another little overlook. This one you can actually, see a little bit of town. Hope the sun's not ruining the shot. I don't know if it shows that little haze too. Sure does. That's why they call it the Smoky Mountains. It's one of the advertisements for the Great Smoky Mountain National Park. They call those volatile organic compounds, VOCs. So when you see VOC, it's not always something bad, because that's just the trees sweating. All right, almost to the top of the mountain. There's a little history on the Wilderness Road. This whole area is full of history. Cumberland Gap, we're not going to make it down there. We're going to go to the Pennington Gap instead. The Cumberland Gap State Park is a beautiful place. Got some really neat overlooks. You can go up to the top and look at 3 states. So it's right on the border of 3 states. And, I mean, the views just go on for days. Alright, to the top of the mountain we go. I think our overlook might actually be coming up really quick, because there's the towers. Here we are at the top. We're going to walk up this trail to the left. It goes to Lookout Point. It's a little bit of a hike to go to the chained rock. They say the wife's in a boot, so. But that's the trail down there. Wanders along. Clock dogs with this on this adventure. Here's the parking lot for this overlook. You can see way down there, town of Pineville. Part of it. It's a long way down. Railroad tracks. There's even a, not sure what that is down there, but let's get up to the overlook and check it out. Alright, here we go. It's the trail headed up. There's the sign once again. We'll wander up this trail, and I'll turn it back on when we get up there. There we go. So right below us there is where we came into town, drove through that floodgate right by the hospital. The river's in the valley there. There's the town, biggest part of it, Pineville. You see the trees are losing a lot of their leaves. It's been pretty dry, so the colors aren't going to be the best. Still pretty. That's 25 coming in from Barberville. And here's There's some of the story. Cumberland River. I think our next stop, or next couple stops somewhere in there, we will be at the start in Harlan. Harlan's a coal town, famous if you know anything about the coal wars. That'll be probably the next stop on the list, unless we see something neat between here and there. Wanted to grab a quick little video. This is just outside of Pineville on your way to Harlan. This is the Asher coal mining property here. This is a bridge that was paid for by the taxpayers. It goes over there, and that's all coal mining land. It's supposed to be a public road that goes all the way over the mountain, but they have it blocked off on the far side. My father-in-law has relatives that are buried up there that you can't get to. But this was a taxpayer-funded bridge to access the coal mines, and ironically, the coal mines went out of business pretty shortly after the bridge was built. All right, on the way to Harlan we go. So we rolled into Harlan. I didn't get any footage of that. This is where the Cumberland River starts. There's you look on the map, there's all these forks, but nothing says Cumberland River. There's a visitor center here we're going to go check out and try to find the big coal statue they had in town. I know somebody crashed into it, I saw on the news. But we're right across from the Harlan Justice Center. This town was made famous in an old FX TV show. And there's a song, "You'll Never Get Out of Harlan Alive." I forget who sings it, but it's been redone several times. Let's go check out this visitor center. A little information here. Wander up, have lunch with a skeleton. A lot of old buildings here. This was a coal mining town, famous, world famous coal mining town. Oh, there's the alley of umbrellas, mural on the wall. One of those old towns where they're trying to bring things back. Tourism, downtowns have coffee shops and that sort of thing. Let's go inside and check it out. It's Halloween season, so they got a lot of spooky art on the wall. I bet it was a contest. There used to be a state trooper display here, along with the Fed after the TV show. See some of the festivals coming up. Wall in there. Alright, wander around the counter. Sculpted from coal. Well, there you have it. That's the visitor center. Girls were talking about a new museum that's going to open in November. That's going to show a whole bunch of the history. Like I say, there is a ton of history. This part of America is what fueled the steel industry. It's what helped us win world wars. The coal that came from here is historical. You should really learn about it. Anyway, next stop. This is storyboard history. Go to the courthouse. We'll go get a shot of that guy. Let's check this out, how the county was named. A lot of murals. So they're really trying to make the town something again. It's a beautiful part of the country. So it's the start of the Cumberland River right here. The logging is also the reason why up north we have the Red River Gorge. So that's the county courthouse. Some benches, sit down. Check this guy out. It's wild. There's an owl sitting above the door. I wonder what that's supposed to symbolize. Alright, let's walk over and check out these things really quick. Oh, I didn't realize there's a time capsule right here. Entered 1984 to be opened July 4th, 2076. USS Kentucky. That's pretty neat. I don't know if I'll make it to when they open the time capsule. So it's coal country. They actually have a wall made out of coal. Pretty neat. Big old chunk sitting right there. Black gold. In fact, one of the towns out here has a black gold festival. I don't see the big coal statue, so I'm gonna drive around some more, see if I can find it. There's a little bit. Can't see much across the highway. Trying to look down. There's the old mine supply company. They still have the working freight elevator in there. A really neat place. It's a hardware store on the ground floor. Really good people. You go in there, check it out. And I guess this is probably going to be it for Harlan. We'll see what else we find. So this is the Martin's Fork. Like I say, I don't know exactly where it officially is called the Cumberland River, but this is the Martin's Fork of the Cumberland River, and I think they all come together. There's several that come together here in town, and that's when it actually is officially called the Cumberland River. But it flows year-round. It was part of what started the logging trade in the earliest of days. The girls at the tourist info had this. Should check it out, scan it, see what's going on out here. A lot to do. They sure could use the tourism. Alright, if I see some more cool river spots, I'll stop. Here we are, just ripping on down the highway. Creek on the other side. We're in a valley. This is Virginia, not West Virginia. And stop. There's a little roadside old building there. It was probably a business at one time or a hotel. But right here on the side of the road, coming right out of the hillside, pure water. Nothing cleaner or better for you than that right there. And it's an interesting little area just up the road. There's a low water crossing, an old bridge that goes to the other side. Look at the other side over there. It just disappears. The road's so old you can't even tell where it's at. Anyway, I just had to stop and get this on camera. Just outside Pennington Gap, Virginia, an old gas station. Right there is called the Big Stone Face. I'm sure you can probably see it. I had to come back and get a quick shot of it. Since I'm stopped, might as well get a picture of this rail bridge. See the old stone pillars to hold it up. As soon as it crosses from the left to the right, it goes straight into a tunnel. So we found this on a historical landmark. It's called the Duck Pond, and it's right here next to the road. narrow little road. Look at that guy coming right at us. Those ducks there, but look at these guys. I think they want something. The ducks are staying away. They must not like the geese. There's a little water wheel over there. Looks like possibly a historic cabin that was rebuilt or maintained. But these guys were across the street over there, and they went flying over there, and then they came over here. They were so wild that the wife said, "I'm not getting out." Anyway, this is called the Duck Pond, historical landmark near Pennington Gap, Virginia. Alright, we're going to find something else to go check out today. Beautiful water. See some little minnows in there. Well, we're all the way down to Floyd's Fork. There's this little thrift shop building here. We took a wrong turn, but that's what happens. So this is the old bridge. I thought I'd come get a video of it. It's pretty cool. You can see the new bridge. That's 33 north. It goes north and really far east of what we're trying to do. And I think this is the Floyd's Fork, but I don't know of which river. But there's the old bridge. Pretty cool looking. All right, well, next time we stop, I'll turn everything back on. So here we are, kind of a tri-state area. We have Tennessee, Virginia, and Kentucky all just right here on this little point. And we are about to go through the Cumberland Gap tunnel. Hopefully we'll go up onto the overlook. But here's the tunnel. Kentucky. So she decided, yes, we're going to go up to the top. Some dirty windshield there. Won't focus past it. There we go. Cumberland Gap National Park. It's a neat spot. A lot of history here. Like most national parks. Some old overlooks. There's some spots they had cannons so they could shoot at bad guys coming through the gap. Another long, windy road up to the top of the mountain. There's 25E we just were on. Bunch of hiking trails. No vehicles over 20 feet in length. To the top we go. I think you can see why no vehicles over 20 feet, no trailers. There's the Fort McCook Civil War earthwork. They had a cannon there at one time. I think there might still be one on display. And yes, there's hiking trails that go all the way from the bottom where we started all the way to the top where we're about to end up. See how windy the road is. Like a lot of roads in Kentucky, Tennessee, Virginia, West Virginia. A lot of switchbacks. Camera does not do those corners justice. The switchbacks are really tight. Made it. All right, we'll get parked and then we'll walk out over to the overlook. And I'll bring you back then. So over at that pavilion you can start and the trail goes up above. And it meets up with the trail we're on here. From the parking lot, 600 feet. It's not far. Here's some storyboard. Oop, zoomed out pretty fast there. It's just part of the trail we were on earlier today. Wilderness Road. And this is the map of the park, showing some of the trails. And do a cave tour. So I was told before this was built that the Masons actually did ceremonies in the cave. I don't know if that's just a wives' tale or... the original overlook. Alright, let's walk out there to it. Easy little walk up here. I won't bore you with this part of it, I just thought I'd show it. Remember folks, always stay on trails. Whether you're hiking, four-wheeling, off-roading, stay on the trails. The first little boardwalk you come to, with a little spot for a view. Look down. I forget what lake that is. Storyboard here might tell us. Fern Lake. So right on that ridge to the left is the border. Alright, let's go to the big overlook. Thought I'd show what it looks like down below. It goes downhill fast. Trail headed out. Showing you what you see there. You just came up from the Powell River Valley.
Okay, so wait, this is, where am I here? I'm in Kentucky. Right now I'm in Tennessee. And now we're in Virginia.
Over there. Yeah. Okay.
We would have been lost without her.
Yeah. Thank you.
I wonder what it looks like on the map.
That's Harrogate, where we just came from. So that's Cumberland Gap, Virginia, down below. That's Tennessee, right there. And then when you drive through that tunnel, you're in Kentucky on that side. We are currently in Virginia. Walk over here. I'll wait for the crowds to move. Looking over the edge.
Don't trust your
Yeah, well, it's a video. Videos I'm not good at. Unless I take a video of burn out.
Hey Thomas,
Video
your
myself.
back's in.
There I was. It's like, oh, please. Thank you.
Thomas,
Yeah, Thomas is turned back. He's got his back. Yeah.
no, I need to.
It's a good one.
It's the visitor center where we came in and started this video.
Turn around. What? Turn around. Don't look. There you go. Gotta get a little giggles in there. Why do you ruin it? You can probably cut his hand out. Cut him out and leave his hand. Yes. Cut him out and leave his hand. Floating hand. Yeah. Things there.
You gonna keep that one and turn it out, or you gonna cut it out?
It's Thomas, it's our son.
There's Harrogate,
It's never just me.
Cumberland Gap right below us,
Thomas.
highway tunnel, the railroad tunnel.
Yeah.
Railroad tunnel's pretty neat. Somewhere over there is Interstate 75. Way over there. That's Middlesboro, Kentucky. All right, let's head back down the mountain. Cumberland Gap, Tennessee is a neat little town. Coffee shop, little stores.
Picture of me just over here.
But there's a little town, or a little building with a water wheel down there. See the creek flows through. And this building has a water wheel on it. Pretty neat town. Alright, leaving the parking area and we're going to head down the hill. Take you for the ride. My windshield mount won't let me get the camera up above the hood very well. Let's see how it works. Narrow and windy, but not near as white knuckle as some highways in Colorado. Chipmunk running across the road. Check out this little fort earthwork here. Run up there real quick. Alright, timeout. Some of the signs going up at the national parks. So this is part of the trail. It goes up where we just came from. Trail that goes down. There's your black bear warning. And then we're going to walk up to the earthwork, whatever it is. We'll see what the storyboard says. There we go. All right, let's go see the earthwork that overlooks the gap. There's the cannon, hiding behind these two little lumps. They could launch that thing all the way down there into the gap during the Civil War. Up on this hill. So there were several cannon batteries on the other side of the hill. See, those are across the valley. We are right here. A lot of history. There it is. Alright, I won't bore you with the walk back down. See Fern Lake over there. And I'll start up once we pull out of the parking lot. Alright, I'm going to pull out of the parking lot, finish the trip down the hill. the hill. You can take that Highway 988. That road goes over to Highway 988. That's a pretty back road, scenic drive, runs along a river. But we're going to get back on 25. We actually live off of 25W, and so we're going to take 25E back to Corbin through Middlesboro, Pineville, and you saw some of that coming the other direction this morning. I might fire up the camera again to get a view of the chained rock in Pineville if there's still enough daylight. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Either way, thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you on the next one. Alright, zoomed in on the chained rock in Pineville, Kentucky. It's an interesting story about why they did it. It's for tourism, where the chain came from, so on, how they got it done. I'll try to attach this video to the earlier when we drove up there to the overlook, and we were at those antennas overlooking toward the hospital. But that's the famous chained rock in Pineville, Kentucky.